Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Tom Spark. Welcome back to another VPN review. Today we're going to be rechecking out AtlasVPN, seeing if there's been any changes or any updates for its ranking on the tier list. Now, before we get into exactly what could or could not change for the ranking system for Atlas and as well as its place on the channel, I did kind of want to mention this email I got, which was a good overview of some of the updates. Now, none of this is really going to impact its score because they're all pretty small and kind of weird updates, or maybe just very small updates. Basically, it looks like they've implemented a cap for data, so the free version is now going to be more limited, but there should be more free streaming optimized servers for users if you're interested in that. They also have a CLI application for Linux, but not a GUI, so it won't really impact their rating. It looks like they've also kind of boosted the speeds of some of their servers, which I did kind of take notice of in this actual review, which you'll see later. And they have increased server selection for 45 locations. However, on the channel, we look for 50 plus. And we're still noticing some things in the review, as you'll see, missing a couple servers that I need. Additionally, they seem to update their private policy and rename some of the features. And they seem to have kind of changed some of the quick connect and auto connect features for Windows. And it seems like there's been some minor translation changes, as well as support for cryptocurrency payments. All right, guys, so now that that's out of the way, let's get into like the actual review, depending on what's happened with the product overall. So it looks like AtlasVPN has a new update, and we're going to be wanting to install that for this review. But we're going to be checking out some of the things like pricing and its privacy backend and stuff like that, as always. So guys, if interested, I'll put a link for Atlas in the description down below. Although traditionally it hasn't rated super high on the tier list, so with that in mind, you might want to check out VPNtierlist.com if you're looking for the best VPN. I have a quiz there, which will help you find the perfect VPN for your specific needs, or you could just choose a high tier VPN that will probably be good for you anyways on the tier list itself. I also have some other recommended products on the website as well. So make sure to check out VPN tier list. And let's get on into the Atlas VPN review. So we are connected right now. I'm not really sure why, but it connected me to Dallas. Why would it connect me to Dallas? I live in Seattle. What the heck? Let's go ahead and disconnect that and try to connect to Seattle. Oh. Well, it doesn't have a Seattle server. I don't really understand why. This is like a sister company of Nord and Surfshark, at least that's how I think of it. And why don't they just share like the same exact servers and stuff like that? I don't really get it. PureVPN and IVC do that. They pretty much just resell the same product. I don't really know why they don't bother with it like with this one. But we're trying to connect right here and load up the website right now. But it does seem like we are kind of having some issues. It says I'm connected, but the website's not loading. So yeah, great to start to this review. We're gonna disconnect, completely restart the application. There was some kind of update, maybe that caused some issues. So we're gonna launch it again and get started here. I just did want to have the VPN on before we started the review. We are connected. It should be using, it's using auto. It doesn't default to WireGuard. I'm not sure why. Maybe that's an issue. I'm not sure. So let's go ahead and go here. Make sure we select WireGuard and now connect. And let's see if that works at least. All right, so it says we're connected. Let's try reloading. And the IP should change up here. All right, finally we're connected. That was a little bit of an issue. So maybe not choosing WireGuard right away was the problem. I'm not really sure there. All right, guys, now that we are connected, let's go ahead and check out the pricing plan. As always, we're looking for specific things with pricing, namely affordability, how many simultaneous connections and stuff like that, and that all gets taken into account into the final ranking for pricing. AtlasVPN is okay in terms of pricing. It's $11 a month, which is slightly more expensive than our usually $10 or under asking price. Additionally, it does seem like they have some upcharges. You can see this little asterisk here. It's $72 for the first 3 years, which is actually a really good price, competitive with TorGuard. But that said, plan price is valid for the first term of your subscription, and you will be charged a renewal price, which is around $40 a year, which actually isn't that bad. but this would probably end up being $120, which still isn't that bad. So they do have some renewal things going on, but it's not as bad as something like Nord that really does increase the price. So at least there's that. And we have $49.01 for the first year. Why does it say for the first year? Renewal price is $39. So it's like it renews at cheaper? I don't know. This seems a little funny. I'm not sure they've put much thought into that, or maybe it's not right. I don't know. Overall, though, in terms of pricing, we're going to give it a final score of this for namely the things that, you know, we're looking for. So now let's go ahead and move to the application section, and this is what the application looks like. It's pretty basic. They have some streaming compatibility, apparently, some Privacy Pro, which is some multi-hop and stuff like that, and safe swap. But like I said in the beginning of the review, I'm kind of disappointed with the server network. It's not a huge server network. It doesn't have Seattle or some of those things that I like to see. You know, I really think a VPN at baseline should have a Seattle. It's one of the biggest cities in America. Or what kind of tech hub. So when it doesn't have Seattle, that's a good indication to me. It's like, well, it is missing some servers. And if you're looking for the best VPN, you know, you always want to have as many servers as possible. The good news is they have WireGuard, some basic things. Not really too much options here. Quick Connect, we did fastest location, but it defaulted to Dallas. I'm not really sure why. And they have a basic kill switch. But besides that, the application is pretty limited. Once again, you know, NordVPN, a sister company, Surfshark, they both have better apps than AtlasVPN. AtlasVPN kind of started off as like this free VPN kind of model on phone and stuff like that. They don't really advertise the free model on the website, but it does have like a free plan, I think, still. I don't know if you could use it on PC, the free plan, but yeah. So overall, applications just kind of meh as well. Kind of, you know, so I think the pricing is a better value than really what you get for the price that you pay. I don't know if it's worth it, you know. The price is cheap, but the application is too basic, is what I'm trying to say. You could get a VPN like TorGuard for around the same price and have a much better application. So yeah, let's move into the next section, and that's going to be the speed test. We're going to be running it through the speed test to see what kind of speeds we can get, even though it doesn't seem to have an optimized server network for me in my specific location. Generally, we'd like to see maximized speeds of around 700 to 800 megabits per second, which is really fast. And honestly, these are giving me decent speeds. So even though we are kind of connecting far away, I did choose a Los Angeles one, which is probably better than Dallas. This is still giving me pretty good speeds. So honestly, at least there's that. You should be able to get decent speeds with this one. And I'm actually pleasantly surprised despite the fact that it's a small server network. Those are pretty good speeds, let's be honest. Next up, we could check and see how the privacy does with AtlasVPN. What about the backend? Well, the one thing about AtlasVPN I don't like already is that they did kind of change hands. They were seemingly some other company, and then they got purchased by Nord or Teslanet or something like that, and they kind of changed hands, which isn't my favorite thing. I'm not sure if they're originally incubated by Nord or anything like that. I'm not really sure, but it kind of seemed like that, and then they just kind of got purchased or whatever. So that's kind of a ding in terms of, you know, changing hands for me. But at least in privacy, when we could look at it, it's also a little weak. They have 7 ad trackers, 15 third-party cookies, and it tells Facebook you visit the website, and Google Analytics, and it helps Google Analytics follow you around the internet. So this is not something you want to see from a VPN. You know, something that's supposed to protect your privacy. You don't want the website compromising your privacy, and that's very concerning. Honestly, a lot of the other products like Nord and Surfshark do this as well, so it's definitely something these companies need to work on. And I don't know if they really will, because it seems like one of their main lines is to kind of observe customer trends and figure out how to make the website get more sales and stuff like that. So it's definitely something they can work on, and probably one of the biggest weaknesses of this product. Overall, I've also tested out AtlasVPN for streaming, and it seems to work fine. I'm not sure I recommend it as often as something like NordVPN, where I've done even more tests, extensive tests, and I've made a guide on my website if you're looking for one of the best streaming VPNs, so also take that into consideration. Overall, guys, I didn't want to make this too long of a review just because I've reviewed it before, and honestly, it's a pretty simple product. So overall, guys, AtlasVPN, there we go. Not really too many changes, to be honest. The application is still kind of too basic in my opinion. The pricing is okay, it's pretty affordable. They could use more countries supported, and just overall a better privacy policy, and customer support could be faster. Honestly, it's an okay VPN, just kind of a simple VPN. But again, I do think something like NordVPN is leagues better, a more full-featured application. more countries supported, a better and faster customer support, and probably better streaming compatibility at the end of the day, although pretty similar with streaming. So yeah, take that in consideration when deciding about Atlas. Check up on VPN tier list overall to check out all the latest scores, and I'll see you guys in the next video very soon.